Hey, awesome anime fans. Ever wondered why certain scenes hit so hard? Or what makes a character truly iconic? You're in the right place. On Animeology, we're all about exploring the nitty-gritty, the overlooked details, and the sheer brilliance that defines the anime we obsess over. If you're ready for deep dives, top lists, and engaging discussions, then smash that subscribe button and become part of the Animeology crew. Let's talk anime. Alright, buckle up. You're not just about to watch some anime, you're about to descend into madness, one frame at a time. Seriously, forget everything you think you know about dark stories. This isn't just about blood and guts. I promise you, this is about what happens when the light goes out. It's about grief that feels like a physical weight on your chest, madness that whispers in the dark corners of your mind, and nightmares that just don't end when you close your eyes. I've ranked these 16 shows, not by body count. No, I've ranked them by their sheer ability to shatter your soul, starting with pure emotional devastation and ending with utter psychological ruin. This is the ultimate test. Can you survive it? This is my list of the top 16 dark anime that will haunt you forever, starting with a path to emotional ruin. At number 16. Grave of the Fireflies. Forget explosions and grand battles. The real horror of war. You'll find it in the quiet, desperate struggle of two children, Sata and Setsuko, in World War II Japan. This isn't just a war film. It's a gut punch disguised as animation. Its beauty is almost a cruel contrast to the slow, agonizing descent into despair, culminating in one of the most heart-wrenching final scenes ever put to film. It's not just about what they lost, it's about the little pieces of them that just faded away. At number 15, Another. The curse in Another begins with a simple, chilling question. Who's the dead one? What follows is this creeping, atmospheric dread. We're not talking about cheap jump scares here. Every squeak of a floorboard, every shadowy corner, and every seemingly normal student in this cursed classroom becomes a harbinger of doom. That infamous umbrella scene, it's not just an accident. It's the moment you truly realize that death in this world is a slow, oppressive, and utterly inevitable guest. At number 14, Higurashi, When They Cry. Imagine this. You move to a peaceful, idyllic village, make new friends. Everything's perfect. Until the paranoia sets in. A single lie, a whispered rumor, and this tight-knit community completely collapses into a cycle of brutal murder. Every time you think you've got a handle on the mystery, the timeline resets, but the horror just deepens. It's a twisted psychological maze that proves the real monsters aren't hiding in the shadows. They're the people you trust the most. At number 13, The Promised Neverland. What if your entire life has been a lie? The warmth of your home, the kindness of your mother, the faces of your friends, all of it is just a beautiful, beautiful cage. When three brilliant children discover they're essentially just cattle waiting to be shipped off to slaughter, their innocent world is absolutely shattered. That iconic red feed moment in episode 4, that's your point of no return. You'll feel their fear and their desperate baby step plan to escape morph into a ruthless fight for survival. At number 12, Psychopaths. What if your mind was a crime scene? In a future ruled by the Sybil system, your mental state, or psyche, determines your worth, your freedom, everything. But what happens when the system is wrong, when it condemns the innocent and protects the truly guilty? This series forces you to ask, where does justice end and tyranny begin? It's a chilling sci-fi thriller that proves a perfect society is nothing more than a perfect prison. At number 11, Monster. A brilliant neurosurgeon chooses to save a young boy's life instead of the mayor's. Sounds noble, right? But that single act unleashes a force of pure evil. What follows is a gripping, decade-long manhunt for Johann Leo, a terrifying mastermind who isn't some supernatural villain, but a chillingly, disturbingly human one. The show forces you to confront a terrifying question. Is the true monster a genetic aberration, a corrupt ideology, or the person who saved him? Trust me, once you meet Johann, you never, ever forget him. The descent into psychological ruin. At number 10, Elfen Lied. From the first few seconds, Elfen Lied tells you exactly what kind of ride you're on, with this brutal 3-minute ballet of blood and carnage. But this isn't just violence for the sake of it. It's a raw, unfiltered exploration of trauma, revenge, and the tragic humanity of a girl with invisible, lethal vectors. Behind all the gore is a devastating story of a broken soul struggling to find a place in a world that fears and hunts her. At number 9, Tamodachi Game. What's the price of your friendship? For Yuchi and his friends, it's millions of dollars, forced into a series of twisted high-stakes games. Their seemingly unbreakable bonds are pulled apart by deceit and manipulation. The games aren't just about money though. They're about exposing the dark truths hidden behind that facade of loyalty. This show will seriously have you questioning whether you really know the people you trust. At number 8, Shiki, the idyllic, secluded village of Satoba, is dying. At first, it's just a mysterious illness, but it soon becomes something far more sinister, a parasitic plague of vampires. What makes this series so haunting is the slow, inevitable creep of dread. As the villagers become a minority, you start to see their desperation turn into monstrous cruelty. By the end, you'll be asking yourself who the real monsters are, the ones who need blood to survive, or the humans who become just as savage. At number 7, Hellsing Ultimate. This is a masterclass in stylish ultraviolence. You've got a vampire assassin, Alucard, hunting supernatural Nazis and other monsters for a secret organization. But beneath the fountains of blood and carnage, there's a surprisingly philosophical core. It's not just about who's strong enough to survive. It's about a battle of ideologies and a self-aware descent into madness. The stylized action is mesmerizing, but it's the raw, unapologetic embrace of its own brutality that makes it truly legendary. At number 6, Death Parade. Welcome to Quindasim, a bar where the fate of your soul is decided through brutal games. But this isn't a game of skill. It's a game of psychology. These games are a way to peel back the layers of a person's psyche, revealing their darkest secrets and regrets. It forces the players and us, the audience, to confront what they truly value and what they've lost. Every episode is a heartbreaking, horrifying slice of heaven and hell intertwined. At number 5, ReZero. Starting life in another world. Imagine getting hit by a truck and waking up in a fantasy world. Sounds like a dream, right? Not for Subaru. He gets this horrific power. He can't actually die, but he can be reset to a specific checkpoint every time he's killed. Each reset brings more pain, more loss, and the devastating realization that he can save his friends from a terrible fate, but only by enduring the pain of their deaths over and over again. This show proves that time travel, not a superpower. It's a denial and an agony. At number 4, Rainbow. Nisha Rokubou, no Shichinin. This is a story of impossible redemption. 7 boys are sent to a brutal reform school where they endure unimaginable cruelty, abuse, and torment. Their only hope, each other. The series is a raw, unflinching look at the limits of the human spirit. It's not about supernatural horror. It's about the real, tangible evil of institutional sadism and the desperate, heartbreaking fight to hold on to even a shred of your humanity. At number 3, Texhnolyze. Step into Lux, a city rotting from the inside out. This isn't just a crumbling metropolis. It's a tomb, hidden deep beneath the earth, ruled by warring gangs and the cold gleam of cybernetic implants. Texhnolyze isn't here to entertain you. It's here to suffocate you with its bleak, unyielding vision of humanity's end. It's not about finding a light at the end of the tunnel. It's about understanding what happens when the tunnel collapses entirely. Texhnolyze is an existential descent, a brutal mirror reflecting our deepest fears about technology, control, and the ultimate futility of existence. If you dare to look, be prepared for what you find. At number 2, Now and Then, Here and There. Imagine this. One moment, you're a bright-eyed, optimistic kid, living a normal life. The next, you're ripped from everything familiar and plunged headfirst into a brutal, unforgiving war zone in an alternate, apocalyptic world. This is the horrifying reality of Now and Then, Here and There. This series is a masterclass in psychological devastation. It doesn't shy away from the darkest corners of human cruelty, depicting atrocities with a stark, unflinching realism that few animations ever attempt. Now and Then, Here and There is widely regarded as one of the bleakest, most soul-crushing takes on war ever animated, leaving an indelible mark on anyone brave enough to watch it. It will challenge your perception of hope, innocence, and what it truly means to survive. At number 1, Paranoia Agent. Finally, we arrive at the peak of psychological horror. This isn't just about a mysterious attacker on rollerblades, Shonen Bat. It's about the collective fear that he fuels in a seemingly normal society. Each character he attacks is already on the brink of a mental breakdown, and the violence is almost a catharsis for their internal struggles. The real monster isn't a person or a creature at all, it's us. It's the paranoia and fear we all carry that, when given a symbol, can spread like a virus, unraveling an entire city. Look, these 16 pieces of animation aren't just stories, they're emotional endurance tests. They prove that true darkness isn't just about what you see on screen, but about the nightmares that are left behind in your own mind. Which one broke you the hardest? Drop it in the comments below, but keep it spoiler-free. For example, don't write the one with the baseball bat, but maybe the one with the eerie nursery rhyme. If you survived this video, you have my full respect, but the terror isn't over yet. Make sure you hit subscribe for part 2, where we dive into the most twisted horror anime you've officially been warned.